So what are you currently working on now?
Currently, I'm working on a book, and it's about a year in the making, and it's directed towards teenagers and young adults. Obviously, because I don't really have all the advice I can give to, like, parents or people in the business world, because I have yet to really experience it. So I can only mentor and lead where I've been, so to speak. So as I've gone through middle school and high school, I've picked up a lot of things, and I've watched a lot of people change and go through peer pressures and all these different problems, and I noticed how it really changed them, and how the wrong voices that they heard created wrong choices for their life. And so I've decided to compile them into a book, and it's about a 40 chapter book that I'm working on, and it starts off with a question that makes you really think. And whether it has to do with, involving dating, or involved with purpose or identity, or confidence. And it's just a question that makes you really think. Like, one of them's like, why am I here? And it's just like, it's called, the title's Book with a Hook. And if you want to know the hook, it's in the book. And every chapter is a hook. And it makes you think. And you're like, all right, well, then I'm going to dig in. And it's just me. It's a story, whether I've lived it myself, or it's something that one of my favorite mentors or speakers, like Les Brown, or people that everybody remembers stories. Everybody loves stories.
Yeah.
And the ones that have impacted me the most, I'll put them in there, and then I'll cap it off with my own, my thoughts and insight on it. So it's in the making. It's about third base, rounding third right now.
All right. Well, we look forward to that. That should be very interesting and very needed too.
Thank you very much.
Who are some of the mentors that you've had in your very short life?
Yeah, I know. Well, I would have to say my parents were not my mentors, so to speak, because my dad or mom could say something and I'll blow it off, but my grandpa can say the same words, and it makes something, it brings something in me, and it just has to do with the whole parent-child thing. I hear you too much. I don't want to listen to like it just doesn't work. And so my dad ended up hiring a confidence coach for me, because that was something I was really lacking, whether it was on the basketball court or whether it was when I was going to have my first speaking engagement. It was confidence. It was the lack of worth. It's like, I'm not worthy to be on these stages with these business people, these multimillionaires. Why am I here? And so my dad I was so grateful that he wasn't trying to teach me how to be confident, because I wouldn't have listened to him. So he hired one for me, and I had about 3 months of training with him over the phone, and he really dug into me. And at the same time, I started listening to motivational speakers. Primarily, number one would be Les Brown. And Les Brown really, I'd be driving down the road listening to him, and just whether I'm at the gym and I'm listening to him, I started craving that sense of worth, and like, I have greatness within me. And so I began sharing with my friends, and they all started loving it, and they started feeling powerful. And so the mentor would have to be, and I'll name him, no one really knows him, but his name is Brian Kenny. He mentors me all the time.
I do the same thing. I actually started out with Tony Robbins, and when I first saw you at the Les Brown thing, I poked my husband and I said, he looks like a young Tony Robbins. And then you got up and you spoke, and I'm like, oh my God, he is a young Tony Robbins.
Thank you. I'll take it. That's a good compliment.
Yeah.